Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through. Go check out my website at skyazrael.com if you're interested in mentoring or life coaching. Let's get into today's topic. I want to talk about the victim mindset. I have a whole chapter in my book, The Art of Survival. It'll be out soon. You can get chapter 1 for free. I'll just send it to you. If you go to my website, you can follow the link. I have a whole chapter about the victim mindset in that book. I've talked about this before in my videos. I want to talk about victimhood again. I want to talk about personal victimhood. That's a term. There's men that fall into this, and there's 4 aspects to it, and I just want to go over them with you. And it's important to be able to identify problems. To diagnose problems, we have to know different aspects of it. We have to be able to diagnose a problem so we can fix it. You can't fix something if you don't know what it is. There's certain guys out there that are real angry, real negative, and they have a hard time with success. Success with women, success in money, success in a lot of areas of their lives, and they're their own worst enemies. Maybe a lot of us have had that problem, but there's varying degrees of personal victimhood. And the first aspect of this, and I just want to get right into it, the first aspect of this is a need for recognition, and that usually looks like defensiveness and pushback. So you could tell a guy, hey, your life ain't that bad. Like, he could be particularly down and feeling miserable about his life. And you could tell him, oh man, it's really not that bad. You're just trying to be positive, trying to be encouraging, you know? Try to pull him back from that edge just a little bit, and you say, it's not really that bad, dude. There's some people that will be like, yeah, I guess you're right. And some people that want to push back on that, they have this need for recognition that their problem is recognized, their perceived problem, which is weird. They want you to say, yeah, it is really that bad. Oh, you're fucked. And that's hard for me, because I don't tell people, I don't jump down that hole with you. I'm not going to jump off the cliff with you and be like, we're screwed, we're screwed. You know, I don't play that Chicken Little bullshit. Well, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Oh no, oh no. I'm a positive person. My motto, my personal motto, I have a whole video about the reason why you should have a personal motto. My motto is, where there's a will, there's a way. I always believe that there's hope. I could be lost in the desert for 1,000 years and I'm still just like, I'm gonna find my way. Some of you motherfuckers will give up, not me. And this need for recognition is like that kind of sorry child inside of you, where you just want to respond in your negativity and in your weakness and be like, no, it isn't. It's not okay. And when you have a kid, if you have a kid, it's hard to deal with a kid like that. You just be like, all right, you know, let me know when you snap out of this fucking bullshit. I mean, maybe you don't say it that way, but I think this is why a lot of guys end up isolated and alone without any actual real friends, because a lot of people, a real friend isn't going to acknowledge this need for recognition that you have. And I think that becomes frustrating. I think this is where some of these weird communities you find online of these losers, they have these weird loser communities. I know that sounds judgmental, but they get together and they just kind of recognize their loserdom. Yeah, I'm a loser. I'll never make any money. I'll never be able to find love. I'm always going to be at the bottom. I'm always going to be weak. And maybe they don't say it that way, but that's what they're saying. And then they get a bunch of other guys that are like, yeah, man, me too. Yeah, right on. You know, I mean, I guess it's just so strange. Misery loves company. But the need for recognition is aspect of victimhood, the need for you to have your problem recognized and acknowledged and idolized and worshipped like you worship it. For other people to see it as this big wall like you see it as. I might see it as a small hurdle, you see it as a huge wall, and that makes you angry at me. Another aspect of personal victimhood is this thing they call moral elitism. Moral elitism is just like it sounds, where you think that you have the moral high ground, that your morality and that your virtue is better than others. That everybody else is some sort of degenerate. You have this high disgust level. You know, people have different levels of disgust. You could walk through, like say for example, the smell of a dead body. That really affects some people, and some people it doesn't. I hate it. It depends on how close you get to it, but I've been near some dead bodies that have been sitting around, and there's a certain amount of time, I guess, when the smell is so bad, it'll make me throw up. I can't even be near it. It's just, it's so terrible. Some people, it doesn't really bother them that bad. I guess their fucking nose isn't as sensitive. That's what I think. But it goes back to this trait that we each have of disgust, and some people are more connected to it than others. When you have somebody who is got this moral righteousness, this moral elitism, where they really actually in their mind feel better than others. I'm better than you. They have such a high level of disgust, because the only way I can feel better than you is if I'm disgusted by you. Look at you and your life, your choices, who you are, the type of stuff you think about and talk about, and and then I can pat myself on the back as I walk away thinking that I'm so much better, so much higher and smarter. And the victim mindset, somebody, especially with men, I make a lot of my videos for men because I feel like that men in this country, in Western civilization, have lost their way. A lot of men feel morally elite and are real judgy of others, heavily judgmental, and it's part of it is a control issue where they're playing God, literally. They think they're little gods, little emperors, and the emperor passes judgment, and they get to do this. They're dying to do it. It feels empowering. It feels good. It's like a mental masturbation, this moral elitism. It's real negativity is all it really is. It's a closed-mindedness. Living in this world of shoulds. You should be this way. You should think this way. The third aspect of personal victimhood, of this victim mindset. I have a few videos about victim mindsets. I have a whole chapter in my book about it. You can talk about this from many angles. We're talking about 4 levels of personal victimhood. It goes along with the last one, moral elitism, but the next one is lack of empathy. They're not very empathetic people. These are people that don't really care much about others. They're kind of cold-hearted. They're lizard people. Yeah, I got a lot of lizards. We live in Florida. Lizards are cold-hearted motherfuckers, man. They're not very emotional. Lizards have no emotion. They're not like cats or dogs. Snakes are kind of, reptiles are this emotionless creatures. When you have a lack of empathy, you can very often be spiteful, bitter. This kind of fuck you mentality. Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck him, his whole fucking family, his whole fucking life. Somebody dies, the queen just died. I look online, you get a bunch of people that are just like, fuck that bitch. What did she ever do to you? especially in this country, in America. It literally has, I mean, I guess if you're British, everybody has a side, you know, maybe you're on the Sex Pistols side, or maybe you're on, you know, whatever, but America, man, we broke free of that shit in 1776. Why the fuck would you even care? You know, it's just a person that died, and when people die, I think it's at least worth being respectful. I don't dance on people's graves, even my enemies, even people that I hate. They're dead. That changes things. Okay, now they're dead, you know, and that doesn't mean I respect them or like them, but I don't spit on people's graves. I don't go by the cemetery being like, fuck you, ha ha ha, pissing on their grave. What's up now, bitch? You know, I mean, but that's what people are doing to the Queen, and it's just this lack of empathy. It's just a certain personality type where their initial reaction isn't to be, oh, well, that's too bad, you know, and I feel bad for her kids. She's got 4 kids, and I feel bad for the grandkids, and, you know, little boys that like to see grandma. They don't think about that. They're just like, yeah, fuck that bitch. It's not my fucking life. And people have a weird lack of empathy. I've seen it. I saw this woman get mugged on a bridge in DC. I was driving by in a cab. It was just like, whoa. She was a jogger, and this homeless guy knocked her over the head, knocked her down, and like stole her fanny pack or whatever she had tied to her waist. I guess it was a fanny pack, money belt, whatever. People we were driving by at like 60 miles an hour. You know, can get the cab to stop or anything. You can't pull over on a bridge. I would have. If I was walking, I would have been a superhero. Hell yeah, I would have been happy to save her, to help her. There were tons of other people on the bridge. Pedestrians everywhere. It was right down by the zoo. The bridge with the lions on it in DC. I always like that bridge because it's got those big fucking lions, statues of lions on it. People walk by, the chick was on the ground. She's holding her head, she's on the ground. Nobody stopped by, nobody even looked. Just this lack of empathy. Fuck her, I don't know her. Fuck that bitch. The last aspect of this, let's get through it. I don't want the video to go too long here. The last aspect of playing this personal victimhood, this game that you play, is these people constantly relive past memories, negative ones, specifically failures. Every time that they have lost an argument, every time they felt embarrassed, every time that they were picked on and kids laughed at them, every time they got dumped, every time they got fired from a job, every time they may have gotten beat up, all these types of experiences, anytime that they've experienced rejection, shame, guilt, they play those instances back relentlessly, over and over and over and over and over in their heads all day long. They relive those traumatically, keeping themselves weak, denying themselves any access to inspiration, to motivation, to empowerment, to confidence. So, in order to fix something, you have to understand it. This is what personal victimhood is. Food for thought. Thanks for watching.